Hey guys, it's your girl Eb back with another video. Today I thought I would talk about and share my eyeshadow palette collection. Eyeshadows are my favorite thing when it comes to makeup. I think that's probably a lot of people's favorite. It's like the one place where you can actually switch things up and be real creative. And so out of all the things makeup, this is by far the biggest collection amongst my makeup. So I know it's going to seem excessive and no one can use all these shadows, but I get really excited about new color stories and new palettes. I enjoy them. I collect them pretty much like similar to how people collect stamps and cards. I mean, those might have more value in the end, but who knows, maybe things will start turning around and you'll actually have some kind of value to these beyond what you paid for them. I also have a collection that's pretty much bolstered by my subscription boxes because I get various palettes through subscriptions, and so there's a lot of those in here as well. I do declutter my palettes as I go throughout the year, so I probably look them around probably like 2 to 3 times a year, and I pull things out. And a lot of things I give to my nieces. I have 2 nieces who really are into makeup. One likes to wear it, one likes to play with it. So I give those to them when I get rid of them, and some of them are just old and I just will throw them away. You know, and I'm not going to make any excuses for my collection because it's mine and my coins, right? So I will go through and show you them. Before we get started, was there anything else I wanted to tell you? Oh, yeah, I think I mentioned before, like I now have a storage issue with my eyeshadows. Pretty much I've been able to keep like my blushes in a little dollar store container, but my eyeshadow palettes, they went from being in this container and a little box that I have to now I've had to put them in like 3 boxes. So I'm looking for like some storage for them that fits my bedroom decor. I don't really want, I mean, if worst comes to worst, I'll break down and get like Alex drawers, but that's not really what I want. I want a look that kind of goes with my bedroom, and so I'm on a hunt for like the perfect storage for that. And really I don't need a lot. I mean, outside of, like I said, outside of my eyeshadows, the rest of my collection is really small. All right, so let's dig in. I will start really quickly with some of the ones that like I said, I have them in 4 containers, and right now the way I have them separated out is I have my fall newer palettes in one big box, like an old FabFitFun box is what I actually have them in, 2 FabFitFun box, and then I have another box that I had bought where most of them had stayed in, and that box now has like more unique or like special ones that I have to go and get for like some special reason, or they're just older and I'm just not ready to part with them. And then yeah, that's it. So we'll go through, and then the next box is like more summery and spring things. I just kind of switched them out and boxed them that way. So the box on top is like the box for stuff now, and the box on the bottom is, you know, not necessarily. So let's go right in. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the ones that aren't in any box because I just received them, and I kind of went over them really quickly in this month's haul, but I'll just flash them here so that they count towards my collection, so you know what I have. So we got the Ice Cream Bee by this is by Wet n Wild, as well as the Coffee Cat. There's 2 of their newest palettes, and I can never get the Coffee Cat open. It's like crazy. So there's that. The Coffee Cat. That's really pretty. I haven't had a chance to use it yet though, so I can't tell you what it's like. I got the Face by Kareem. It's a new Hip Dot palette. That's what it looks like. It's so pretty. I think it looks like a little cute clutch. I like that. We have the yeah, I'm not gonna do these. I was gonna try to use my order, but I'm not gonna be able to because, like I said, how I have them stored. We have the Kathleen Lights So Jaded palette. And that's what that looks like. That is so pretty. I just like looking at this palette. I think it's so pretty. All right, and then we have two new palettes from Juvia's Place. The Nubian Glow, gorgeous. These two are nice. And the Nubian Royale, which is what I have on my eyes today. The Nubian Royale. And this lip color is KVD Vegan, KVD Vegan Beauty, formerly Kat Von D. And then I got this Festival palette from Juvia's Place. And those are the newest palettes in my collection, and they haven't been placed in a box yet. But all of these would go in the first box that I would show you guys, which is like my fall winter boxes. Right, so it's like this big FabFitFun box right here. This is what I have them in from winter in there. All right. Next we have the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette. And that's what that looks like. I really like this palette a lot. It's one of my favorites. Hopefully I can get through this first batch before I have to start this again. We have the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon palette. I know a lot of people have usually declutter this palette, but I really like the grays in this palette, and so I use it a lot around when I want gray. I use it too when I want some pinks, but more so the grays. Like I love the color Cafe au Lait and Praline, Pecan Praline, and you can see I'm really low on that one. Put pan on it. And I just have this thing for the Too Faced chocolate bars. I just really am connected to them. I can't let them go. Here's the semi-sweet. And you can see I hit pan. I'm almost close to hitting pan on caramel. Now I have to be honest, I haven't picked these up in a while, and so I actually moved them from, they were in another container. I moved them here, hoping that when I open this box, sometimes I'll go in and grab them. This one actually should be in my summer box. This is the Sweet Peach palette. I need to put this in the one below. And that's what that looks like. Now this one was really hyped up and people were loving it. And I am pretty low on puree and caramelized. I'm not gonna talk through all these, but I do like this a lot. But at first it wasn't like, I didn't get the hype on it, honestly, but I do like it. And I'm gonna move this because I have it in the box. I have my only Pat McGrath palette. This is the Mothership, the one that came from the pink one. It just says Mothership on here. The more recent one. And I remember when I got this at first, I was like, man, $65. I was kind of like, was that really worth it? Because now she has that one for the holidays out, and it is $78. And that's the one palette I do think when I think I'm done, but I might want to get that. I think I really want to get that. I'm just contemplating the $78. But when you think about it, it has all those colors in it. This is the only Pat McGrath I have. So even though those other, like 12 of them are from two former palettes, that wouldn't matter because I haven't had them. And I have to admit though, when I did use this palette, because even at first when I opened it, I was like, this is it. But when I used it, they do really blend well. Like it was an effortless look. It came out really well every time I use it. And so I get that they're higher quality than a lot of the palettes in my collection, because they're just buttery and they just perform really easily and well. So it did make me want to get other ones, but again, it's like they are so expensive. So I have to think about that. Then I have the Morphe 18A palette, something new that I got. This like blues and blue palette, little icy palette is how I like to look at it. It's actually, when I think about my this one, I guess my blueberry muffin palette from, as I look at them, they're pretty different. Because one thing I like about this is the blueberry muffin palette from BH Cosmetics. Look at that. That's so pretty. I love this palette. I love this palette, and I feel like it really looks like a blueberry muffin. Like they put brown in here and, you know, these blues. I love it. But I felt my point was they're like, these are both nice because they both have like grays and, you know, creams and like browns. So you can do more than just a blue look. Anyway, I thought about putting these in order by brand, and then it just seemed easier to go into the boxes this way. This is a Morphe times Manny MUA Glam palette. It's an okay palette. I got this actually. Bought it on my own when it came out because I wanted to support Manny at the time, and then it also came in the Boxy Charm Premium, so I gave that for one to my niece. Highlighter is nice. I've used this highlighter quite a bit, and I've made decent looks with this palette. I know, you know, it's had mixed reviews, but again, my expectation, I think it's fine. I think it works fine. I have two palettes from NYX. I have that I recently added, and I got to use. I have not used these yet. This is the Phoenix. That's really pretty. Technically, I almost feel like, I mean, I think this fall. Let's use this fall. And then the Ultimate Utopia, I really want to get to use this. I just haven't worn anything that made me grab this palette. I do like matching my stuff up with my face. This is the classic, the Too Faced chocolate bar. So before I had my son, I was really into eyeshadows and makeup. Anybody who knows me knows that I was. But then, you know, when you become a mom, you have different priorities. And I was a single mom, so I also had different access to coinage at the time. So I really didn't have very many eyeshadow palettes, and I really didn't even hardly wear them. You know, it's a funny story. I was wearing them, and then somebody who I like valued their opinion on a lot of things like fashion and things, said to me when I was like 29, like, you shouldn't wear eyeshadow, it makes you look older. I was like, oh, it does? Well, I didn't want to look older, and so I stopped wearing it. I don't know, it's crazy. And then as my son got older, I started like getting back into it because I just like it, you know. I don't know if it makes me look older or not. I don't know what that was. I mean, everything's not for everybody, and she never wore it. So I guess it's like, you know, sometimes you just gotta just be you and do it makes you happy. That's my whole point of that. And then my niece was getting back into makeup, and then my son was always on YouTube, and I was like, why do you sit around watching YouTube all the time? And then he was like, I'm like, how can he get into this? But then a friend of mine put me on to somebody on YouTube, or actually around my planner, but the person, Belinda Celine, also did beauty. And as I watched her, of course, YouTube started suggesting people. And then I found this whole world of people who love beauty and eyeshadow and makeup and everything just like me. So that's really what got me back down this road to just doing what I like to do. And, you know, we do so much and give so much of our time to our jobs and our kids and our family that it's okay to have these little things for yourself. Don't let nobody tell you different. So this is the chocolate bar, all of that to get to. The chocolate bar brought all that up because it was my first high-end palette. Like, I had some Urban Decay. Well, it's my first high-end when I came back. I had high-end palettes when I was younger, but they were more like, they weren't even really palettes. They were like quads from Givenchy, or at the time, hard candy actually was sold in sacks, and I had a 6-pan thing of hard candy, and that was $45. And me and my friend in college were so excited that we each got ourselves these hard candy palettes. And now what, hard candy, then I come back to makeup, and hard candy's like sold at Walmart. So anyway, the chocolate bar palette was my first large purchase when I started purchasing again, and that's it right there. And you can see I hit pan here. So was long-winded. Sorry, guys. So here's the Hip Dot. So the reason why I bought that face, the main reason, even though I saw Jackie Anna use that Kareem Face by Kareem palette from Hip Dot, what made me really buy it was because we got this Hip Dot palette in our BoxyCharm called the Zion, and this palette, I love it. I've used this so much. This is a really good palette. It made me like Hip Dot, it made me trust the brand, and I bought that, and I'm probably gonna buy some more because I really like their formula. I have two color pop little palettes. The It's My Pleasure. I love this palette. It's so good. This video is gonna be so long, guys. You're gonna have to get you something to drink and some snacks. And then I have the Honey. I say it like that. You remember that in the Kanye song? Honey. I love that. Actually love that song. So I got those two. There are a couple more. I kind of want the mint one. I've been back and forth, and then it goes out and it was gone and it's back. And I don't know if it's back, if it's still back or not. I would like to try that one. Okay, this is gonna be funny. This is only hair and I need to throw it away. I'm gonna throw it away, guys. I'm gonna throw it away after this video. I'm gonna throw this away. But this is the real dog that got me back into makeup, because another thing, when I was telling you guys how hard candy was in Saks and we didn't have a Sephora, but me and my friend, when we were in school, Sephora came to our city. And that's when we first saw Urban Decay. But I hadn't gotten anything from Urban Decay before I got pregnant or anything. And then my son was like in middle school, and I was like, I want some eyeshadow. I was going out and I wanted some eyeshadow. And I bought these two little palettes from Urban Decay. And I thought, oh my gosh. And one of them disappeared. But the other one had this classic, this don't even have a lid anymore. I'm embarrassed to show you this. I'm gonna throw it away. I haven't used it, of course, in years. So you can see, like, I don't know why I kept it, but partly because I love this color, Midnight Cowboy, and I thought it was just such a great thing. And I'm gonna get rid of it today. But that was in there. I have the Blushing Berries from Dose of Color. This also was in a BoxyCharm. I dropped it, and so I lost that black, but that's okay because I'm not really, I get intimidated by black because I'm gonna mess up. I've worn it a few times, but not often. All right, so we also got from BoxyCharm. I probably should have did, like, maybe I should took out my subscription boxes. I don't know. This Eloise palette. I've yet to use this. So this is like, when you think about how I showed you guys the Kathleen Lights palette. So I have an issue with large palettes and working with them. But when you look at this Kathleen Lights one, I think I said this, the reason I like this one is because it's structured in a way that I can look at this and I can see the looks and I'm not overwhelmed. Like, she has them put together in a way, and you can see your neutrals, you can see your blues, you can see it, right? There's a couple oddballs, like, you know, I would have maybe, but she did it because you can put it here. You know, she could have put it here, but she put it over here. You know what I mean? But then when you look at this one, it's like they're all over the place. And now my brain is like screwed up and I don't know what to do. So that's why I don't like bigger palettes. I get overwhelmed when they're too big and they're not put together in a way that makes sense. We have this Nomad palette. This was a collaboration with Ipsy. This is the only Nomad palette that I have. I have seen a recent one from them that I'm considering purchasing. This one is okay. And then we have the Picante palette from Carity. This is obviously a great warm palette. It has like fall written all over it to me. It looks like fallen leaves. I think it looks great. The Tammy Times Revolution palette. This palette is the one that got me thinking about Makeup Revolution again, because I had like took them off the list of brands I would buy eyeshadow from because I've been so disappointed by their eyeshadow. But this palette is really good. I'm gonna take this off. I have it on because of these creamy like products. I don't know. I'm actually keeping it back on. So I have 3 of the BH Cosmetics. I actually have probably my biggest collection is Juvia's Place, and then next to that is BH, and then Too Faced. That's kind of how it is. Cherry on top is the Sweet Shop palette. I love these palettes. Whew, they're beautiful. I absolutely love them. The Bubblegum palette. It's awesome. Look at that. I have to swatch it. Every time I go in here, I have to swatch this one. Because it's so pretty. I love blues. That's the Bubblegum palette. And then the Cotton Candy. Now the Cotton Candy one, I use this one a lot. I've made some really good looks with it. I went to Ulta and the girl was like, oh, your eyes look so nice. I was like, thank you. I actually got creative with it. Did a little half thing and, you know, got away from my normal like 3 colors, 4 colors. This one's different. All right, we have the Natural Eyes. This is such a nice palette. I'm so glad I got this. I got this during Ulta like sale, Days of Beauty. We have a couple of these Huda Beauty little palettes. These are my only Huda Beauty palettes. This one here is the mauves. You can see I dug into that. I like that one a lot. I like mauves. I like pinks, purples. And then this one is the amethyst. Oh, look at that. That's so nice. It's so nice. Let me see now. You know, it looks different. I'm gonna say, does this look like the Nubian, the palette that I have on today? But they're different. They're different. They're actually very different. I don't even need to put them side by side. All right. I told you guys how like I'm weird. I keep sleeves when there's a sleeve. If there's a box, I take the box off. If there's a sleeve, I keep the sleeve on. All right, we have the Juvia's Place. We have the violets. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. I can't. This is the mauves. The chocolates. This is the Nightingale. I don't know why that's there. This is Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette. I might give this one. I think I'm gonna be able to see if my niece wants them. It's a lot like it reminds me a lot of the Naked Smoky, and I have the Naked Smoky. And so it makes me feel like I don't really need the Pretty Vulgar one. But I like this. I think it's a good palette. When I've used it, it's been very nice. This is the Berries by Juvia's. We have the Nubian Coral. This one I really like. You can see this palette is so pretty, and this was a sleeper for me because I'm gonna sit and get it, and then I was like, I was looking like those colors are different. I love it. I use this so much. We have the Ciate one. This came in our BoxyCharm Premium a couple months ago. I really do like this palette. It's from Ciate. I don't know if it has a name. It's the editor palette. I like it. I think it's a good palette. All right. Now this is from BH Cosmetic. We have the Smitten in Switzerland. And this was a surprise for me. I must pass this up. I got it on sale last month. And I really like it. Like, it's a nice cool tone palette. It has great colors in it. Another one from BH Cosmetic, the Avocado Toast palette. I love this palette. Avocado Toast. This palette is really nice. And I mean, the looks I pull off on it are so nice. Everybody always tells me how nice it looks. This is new to my collection. I haven't had a chance to use it. I put it in this box, so hopefully, I do use it. This is a breakfast in bed from Beauty Bakery. It's a Tarte Pro palette. Now, I think this palette, I'm thinking about giving this palette to my mother. She doesn't really have much of an eyeshadow collection. I literally have only used this one time. I have a bag of stuff I'm giving her. I love this palette. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great palette. And so I hope she wants it. I'm going to ask her, like, Mom, if you're not going to, then I'll keep it. But if you would like some eyeshadow, I'm gifting you this. But if you're going to take it and set it in a corner somewhere and give it back, I'm simple like that. All right, here's my Warrior palette. This is from Juvia's Place. This is actually one of my favorite. This is like either my favorite or my second favorite from them. I was going to do a Juvia's Place ranking video, and this is pretty, I love this. I actually have this twice, actually, because I pan on so many colors. But then this one might be my favorite. This is the Try by Juvia's Place. Now this one is discontinued, but this, look at that. I think it's so pretty. Love it. Now this kind of gives me like this avocado toast. Like now that the Tribe is gone, and I think you could get this. Now you don't get that nice doo-doo brown color, but I think you could get this. Let me see, put these side by side and see if I know what I'm talking about here. I could be wrong. They're kind of different. They're actually really different. I mean, I think you can get the look. So here's this one, and then here's this one, right? I think the only thing you're missing is that really light brown. But you got the greens, you got kind of a teal. The teal's a little richer, I will say that. But you got a little orange. You got some brown, but you just don't have that light brown. And you even got like that champagne kind of shimmer over here. So I think if you really had wanted this and you weren't able to get it, I think you could get this and be pretty close to what you wanted. All right, the Magic Mini by Juvia's. This is a new one to my collection. I just got this last month, but remarkably, I'm really liking it. I really like this color. At first, I wasn't sure how. This was one I kept looking at and looking at and looking at. And then I think Makeup by Amy. She does a lot of indie brands, indie makeup. She talks about this a lot in different ways, really positively. And so I was like, I'm gonna try this because, you know, she's got a good perspective, and I liked it. I really like it. I have the Masquerade Mini. I really like that one. So that's like if I was saying like if you were gonna get one or the other in your person, I would go with this one. For me, it's easier than this one, right? This one you have to be kind of thoughtful, know what you're doing, and it has like, you know. But this one I feel like it's real simple because you can do all your neutrals and you can do these pops of color. I don't know if it's the structure, but if you wanted to try a Juvia's Place palette, I would go with this one because it gives you a lot of options. And then another one that Makeup by Amy recommended that I have loved since I got it last month is the Nubian 2. This is really good, guys. She recommended this for fall, and she was right on. This is great for fall. All right, so that's that box, and we're gonna go into the next box. Okay, the last box here. This is my Wake Up and Makeup. This was the original box where everything was inside, and over the course of a year and a half, everything blew up. I don't know. All right, so in this box I have some of my less scrap ones, but things I'm just not quite ready to part with yet. We have the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette. I really probably need to part with this one because I really don't use it. Okay, I think I'm going to give that one up. This Ace Beauté Grandiose palette. I keep this one around again for travel because I think, you know, it's a pretty palette, and I can take it with me when I go away and won't be completely devastated if I break it or something like that. Makeup Shayla ColourPop collaboration, or second one, Proceed with Caution. I need to use this. I need to put this in the other box because I have not really used it. I used it like one time. I was a little disappointed in this yellow. I thought it was going to be a little bit better, and considering it's kind of like, you know, that was like the call out shade or whatever, and it's okay. This is just the Comfort Zone palette. Everybody knows about this palette. This is the old model of it. I don't even use it, and I really wasn't even that into this color story. I think I only have it for nostalgia. I think I'm gonna throw that away. We have the Volcano Goddess palette. This is from Becca. I think one of the reasons why I've been holding on to this palette was because of these topper shades. But then yesterday, I swatched these, and I think they've gone bad or something, because you really, like, there's nothing at all. So I think I'm gonna get rid of that palette. All right, we have the Huda Beauty Coral palette. That's that one. Nice palette. Again, I take that with me when I travel. Got this Steve Laurent palette. I got this in a single swag box. I used it. It's a good palette, you know. Keep it to travel. This Wendy's Contraband. I probably can get rid of this one. I used to keep this in my car, or I might just put it back in my car. I don't know why I brought it out. I have some palettes that I keep in my car and in my desk at work. So this isn't even all of my palettes, because I have a few, like I said, in those two places, so I can touch up if I need to. But yeah, this is the Alia palette. Maybe I'll put this one in my car, because I don't get to grab this much. I think it's an okay palette. I know people were disappointed. If this was like a silver, I dropped it and it broke, but it's not like a color I would really use with this, in my mind. Maybe I would have used it for my inner corner, but I don't use it. But yeah, I think I'll put this in the car, because I think this will actually give me, this is a good go-to palette if I have to touch up my face. I got this Creme Brulee Violet Boss Little Mini palette in my Ipsy this month. I think that's a really cute palette. I'll use that. This is the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. Kat Von D, one of those little coffin palettes. This one is called Fawn. I could put Fawn in my car too. This Smashbox Shape Matters. I don't even know why I bought this palette, but when I got it, what I did like it and why I still have it is it has these powders can be used as eyebrow powders, and I really do like these two here. Like, I don't know why they would make something with this mini. I don't even know why I bought this, but I did. And like I said, I like the eyebrow powders, and sometimes when I do my eyebrows, I like to go into these powders. But I probably should get rid of this palette. It's kind of old too. Another Smashbox that I just got recently in my premium was this LA Cover Shot. I feel like these shadows are just okay. I was kind of surprised by the performance of the shadows. This is the Too Faced Love palette. This is an old one. I probably should just toss it. But I have this like affinity to Too Faced. As you can see, I hit pan here, I hit pan here. This one broke. This was like my go-to for a long time when it was like Valentine's season. And I just think it's so pretty. Their stuff is so pretty, which makes it hard for me to get rid of them. This is Urban Decay Electric palette. This is like my first rainbow palette. This palette is old, but I still love this silver. It still performs for me. Let me show you. That right there. It's probably like the prettiest silver I have. I don't really even have that many silver colors, shimmers. So I have a pretty one in my my chocolate gold, but it's not silver like that. This is a more recent one, ColourPop Garden Variety. This palette's okay. It's a little light for me, but it's okay. It does a good job. I mean, ColourPop eyeshadows are good. The formulas are pretty consistent. This is the Princess, the first one. Now, I did see that they have brought this back in stock as a combo set. I wish it wasn't a combo, because they have the Villain one, which I want, but it's a combo set. So I don't want to get that twice. That's not one I'm willing to have twice. These two Pure palettes, these were only two Pure palettes I have remaining. I've decluttered other ones that I had. This one is they're from BoxyCharm. This one I really like. This the first festival one they had. I thought this was very nice. And then they came out with this Festival 2.0. And not really, this one did not excite me at all. I have not used it yet. I need to give it a try, but I'm just not excited by it. We have the Too Faced Totally Cute palette.
And then next to that is the Too Faced Sugar Pop. Everybody knows this is old because they discontinued this when they came out with this, and that made sense because when you look at them. Enough said. The Violet Voss Best Life 2 palette. I got this from BoxyCharm Pop Up. It has all these glitter stains and all this. I think this could be a good palette for me to take if I have something special to do when I go away, because I don't really like it that much. This is the BoxyCharm palette, Hello Charmer palette. It's actually performed pretty good. I was actually surprisingly surprised by it. It's a good performing palette. This is the Kat Von D Glimmer Eye, Shade and Light Glimmer Eye. So it was like the Shade and Light palette, but she added these shimmers. This is the Urban Decay Metals. I do like this. I know it was awkward because it has this thing in the middle, and you know, I guess if your life's on YouTube, that's annoying to you. I know people talked about that a lot. I mean, it doesn't matter to me if I'm using. This is the Wonder Beauty palette. We got this in a Ipsy, I believe. No, BoxyCharm. BoxyCharm. It's pretty. This is the only Vice palette I still have left. I probably shouldn't have any Vice palettes left because you know that means it's really old. But I kept this for a long time because I really was in love with this row here, and then I was in love with these colors. So I'll keep the palette for one color, but I love this. But I think this is actually time I'm sure it's expired, and they probably don't even perform the same. Yeah, I need to toss this. Yeah, you can't see it. I mean, well, you can, but I just love this packaging. I thought this. I could not throw this away. I mean, it's like a little works of art. My voice is getting lower. I'm sorry, guys. We have the Beige Cosmetic. I have two of their baked palettes. This is the Solar Flare. I do think I'm gonna give this one to my niece. I just don't grab it. You know, like they look gorgeous and beautiful, but then in theory, when you go to wear it, it's like, I'm not gonna wear all this whole shimmer thing. I mean, some people do, and they pull it off, it looks great. But that's not me. I like a little matte and a little shimmer. I don't like a whole shimmer eye. These are like whole shimmers. Like this. I keep this, now this one I see me keep it because I might use it, but the other thing is they perform okay. Well, I'm wrong. They still got some juice in them. Let me see. Like I put those three on, see. So I keep these around. So that's that main box, and the last little kit is my little display that kind of is all my Anastasia and a few of my Naked palettes in this really short little group, and I'll just show you those. We have the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette, which I will never get rid of this. I love it so much. This Naked Smoky palette. Of my Naked palettes, I only have the Naked's colored Nakeds. I never got the other Nakeds. I was curious about the Naked one, but I mean, what do I want just a whole thing of browns for? I don't know. That's the Honey. I'm sorry. That's the Honey palette. This is a really good palette. I really like the Honey. And I really like the Heat palette. I think the Heat palette's a great palette. Now, I will say, I feel like every look I do with this palette looks the same. I don't feel like there's much diversity in what I can do with it. They all come out with a like nice warm orange looks. But it's a very rich, pretty orange and very easy to work with. My Jackie Aina Anastasia Beverly Hills collaboration. I mean, you can obviously see I like this palette. I use the heck out of it. I'm using that now. I love this. Is the Gingerbread Extra Spicy from Too Faced. Man, I don't know if this palette was underrated because I don't feel like people were hyping this one up. And maybe because the gingerbread one that came out, people weren't hyping this one up. But this one, for me, is all that. I love it so much. The colors are so rich. It makes the best soft glam look. Love it. And then I have the Modern Renaissance palette. This one is you know, the Modern Renaissance palette. I don't want to say anything about that. This is the Prism palette. You can tell I like it. And then the Subculture palette. And I really haven't seen an Anastasia. Now this one I know is like a questionable one, but I do really like some colors in this palette. And the way I use it is I just use them on their own. I don't use them together. So that is it for all of the palettes that are in my home. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me of these. I'm sure a lot of you have all of these because they're all popular. If you have BoxyCharm, you have a lot of them and things like that. But that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Let's wrap this up. Bye, guys.